Hello everybody, welcome back to the Lego Armory. Pull up a seat, pop a drink. Let's get ready to talk. So, in today's video, I will be going over the stages I do to make a Lego firearm. Now, I've written down 10 stages in a little notebook off to the side here that you guys cannot see. But so, for step 1, I put down inspiration. Inspiration is very important for making a Lego firearm. Like a year ago, I made a Lego M16A2. You might have seen it in my shorts. But for that inspiration, the 2 months prior to that, I was watching Jarhead. I was learning about the Gulf War, the Persian Gulf War, as I got really into the retro firearm design. So I was like, hey, I kind of want to know what this feels like. So I will make an M16A2. And I was like, I did that. So, yeah, inspiration, big part of it. This can come from anywhere, anybody, anything. I remember when I was a kid, bigger inspiration for me to start making Lego firearms was my different username. He was amazing. Unfortunately, he no longer posts anymore. I don't know if he will start posting again due to last year, around the same time I made that M16, a hacker unfortunately hacked his channel and turned it into a Tesla ad or something like that in order to scam people. I'm not going to get too much into it, but very annoying. Alright, for 2, I have researched a weapon. If, say, you got the inspiration and now you're looking at the weapon, say you want to make a MP5. What I recommend you do is research the MP5. Look it up. Look at all the different designs for it. Forgotten weapons. I know. I watch a lot of forgotten weapons when I'm researching, especially older firearms. Like a couple years ago, made a bolt action rifle. I spent the entire day watching forgotten weapons videos on old French bolt action rifles because I thought they were cool. Also, probably a little bit of ADHD, but that is unknown for now. Alright, for number 3, I have start the build. You gotta start the build sometime, so after you research the weapon, you've got the inspiration, you have to start the build, otherwise you're not gonna have a Lego weapon. Okay, so for me, how it typically goes is I just sit down and just start putting pieces together, typically with the design in mind, and I always start at a certain part. Like, for this, what was previously a Block 2 M4, I've now turned into a pseudo Mark 18, which is missing the grip, because it's currently on a Mini 14 design I'm still working on. But, so for this, I started on the grip. For AR builds, I typically always start on the grip. Pull over this really easy Mini 14 I made. I might make a video on it, might not. Don't know. Put that back over there. So, I started on the grip. I always start with the grip. I recommend always starting with the grip. Especially if you're building any sort of assault rifle or like an AR, AK, even some wild stuff like a FAL or G3. Or even a pistol, I always start with a grip. Why? Because as I go through the build, I'm seeing how it feels in my hand. Does it feel real? Are the proportions right? So, yeah, pop this on real quick. So, throughout the entire build, I'm always, even if it's finished or not, I'm always going like, does this feel good to me? Does this feel like a rifle? And then I don't have any stages for during the build, but I'm still going to talk about it. During the build, you always want to start on something. You build it in little sections. Never just go all out, build the whole thing all at once. You are going to get burned out doing that. So, like, after I started on this, I literally finished the grip, set it down for the night. Woke up the next day, did some stuff, came back to it, started on the lower receiver. I started on, went to the receiver. I always go to the trigger mech for second because it's always closest. Pretty much if you look at any of my guns, how it typically goes is grip, up to the receiver, stock, and then I do the barrel. That's typically the building process for all my guns of when I'm actually building them. Why? Because you always want the rear of the firearm to be sturdy, and then you want the front of the firearm to be sturdy. Otherwise, it's just gonna fall apart. But after I finished the lower receiver, I worked on the stock. I made it another thing I do like to do whenever I build a firearm is, build a Lego firearm, is do something that I haven't done previously on a Lego gun. For this, it was make a working stock, which is not wanting to work, because of course it's not. Don't know why it's doing that. I'll look at it later, but wanted to make a working stock. I finally did that, sort of, kinda. It's being a biscuit right now. So yeah, it's something I always try to do, is do something I've never done before properly. I remember the M16A1 I made a few years ago. The first gun I had that had a working trigger on it. It was very cool. So, yeah. For stage 4, I have talked with other builds. No, I've tweaked the build for a week, so I'm actually still gonna need this. So I've had this build for probably 3 weeks now, maybe 3-4 weeks now. I don't. No, 2.5 weeks, I think. But so once I finished this, I was like, what can I do to improve this? The stock, it was really flimsy. I've spent a lot of time on this, working on this area right here, this area where the upper receiver and the lower receiver meet, because it was super unsturdy and it was just being a pain. So I fixed that. I got it fortified up a little bit. That's why this little nubbin's there, that is to help prevent this from drooping down. The grip, it used to be really easy for the grip to snap off. So I looked at it, I made a design. I put a Technic bar in there in the grip now. Did it take an hour or two? Yeah. Did I do it? Yeah. Is the gun sturdier for it? Yes. Originally I had a 30-round magazine built for this. I love 30-round magazines. They are awesome. But they're just not sturdy. And I'm not personally, I'm not a fan of using tape in my builds. So I just went with the 20-round magazine just because of how much sturdier it is for it. I did a little bit more tweaking up here, some tweaking on the charging handle, the stock and buffer tube. In an attempt to also fix the problem with the stock being really flimsy when you had it extended, originally I just extended the buffer tube, didn't extend the stock itself. I believe I have a stock around here that so I have this old stock from a Nerf gun I had, just stock mod stock. So this is what I based this stock off of. You can kind of see it, but originally it was 4 studs shorter than what it is now. But I extended the buffer tube and I extended the stock, so now it fits the size better, so it's more accurate to the real thing. It's also sturdier. I can have it extended without having to worry about it breaking off. I tweaked the actual mechanism for this to extend out a lot, because that was being annoying as well. So 5, I have show to other builders. There's a lot of great places online you can see to talk to other builders about your gun. One place I personally recommend is the My Different Username Discord server. Amazing place, amazing people, they're awesome. Otherwise, the Lego gun subreddit. A lot of guys on there, a lot of new builders. I see a lot of new builders on there. It's pretty good, although since it's Reddit, it can be kind of toxic on there sometimes with some of the guys, players, but it's not bad. Like, you can still get good advice on there. So yeah, just show other builders, talk to other builders about it. They can have suggestions for how to fix stuff, how to do stuff. Just for general things, like, wasn't for this build specifically, but, it wasn't with this one. It was actually, again, with that M16 I made last year. There was this new builder on there. He was like, hey, what is this? How do I do the arrow receiver? and I had that M16. I showed him how I did my receiver, and he got help from it. I had another guy made a bolt action right before that M16. He was asking how I made the bolt mechanism to where I can push the lever in and slide the bolt out just like a real gun. Showed him how I did that, and a guy talked to me about an AUG build I made in November. But yeah, just and even I've talked to people about, hey, what can I do to improve this build? What can I do for this or that? It's just to talk to people. It's very important to talk to people about your build. People give you different building suggestions. Just talk to people. Trust me. Just trust me. I suck at talking, but just trust me. Talk to people. And I'm just gonna leave this here because I'm probably gonna need it. For 6, I have take a picture. Take a picture of it without any attachments on it. Take a picture of it. See what it looks like. And this also goes with number 5. I should have had those switched. You're gonna need to take a picture. Remember, one, always get to take pictures of stuff. Taking pictures of stuff is amazing. I have 600 pictures of Legos on my phone. So yeah. 7. So after 7 is accessories. So once I do show other builders the bare bones, then I start working on all this fun stuff you see. I did have a flashlight on here, but I took it apart for that Mini 14. So need some of the pieces on it, so there used to be a flashlight here. But yeah, so the way I do it, I always go with just what I'm feeling, how I'm feeling. So typically, I always make a laser aiming module for it, just because I like them. So this is where the real personality comes from when you're building a Lego gun, I think, is the attachments on it. Yeah, the gun core of itself is good, but without attachments on it, without making it your own, it is just kind of, and from a distance, just kind of looks, well, because most modern firearms don't really look good without attachments on them. I said it, modern firearms don't look good without attachments on them. There are like 3 I can think of. Yeah, you don't have to go crazy. Like this, if this was a COD gun, 1, 2, 3 attachments on it. So you don't have to go crazy overboard with the attachments. But yeah, once you get the base gun built, then start going to attachments. Or if you are feeling kind of bored during the building process of the main gun, I do recommend building some attachments, but make sure they're attachments you won't care about taking apart for parts later. Because I always find when I do build attachments during the actual making of the gun, they always end up getting taken apart for parts I need later. 8. Take more pictures once you got attachments on it. Once you got attachments on it, take all them glamour shots. Take every glamour shot you want, because you should be done with it. 9, this is specifically for making a YouTube video. Make a video. Make a video about it. Show it off. YouTube, TikTok, whatever, Facebook, I don't care. Yeah. I suck at talking to people. 10. Break it. You can't start another Lego build unless you break it. Typically, my guns last at most 2 months before I end up breaking them down and making another gun. The gun I had before this was a Kar 98. Made a Kar 98, I was happy with it, but after a month I got kind of bored of it, so I was like, okay, want to make something else. So it sat on my table while I was looking for inspiration to build. What gun do I want to make? What do I want to make with it? Like, I'm surprised I didn't really have to break too much stuff for this Mini 14 build, but then again, Mini 14s are kind of simple. But I did have to take apart a red dot. I had to take apart that flashlight. So yeah, if it's a circle of life with Legos. Once you make something, you're inevitably gonna break it. And that's fine. It's fine to break stuff. If you don't break it, you're never gonna build anything again if you just leave it sitting there as is. Unless that was the purpose you made it. Like if you did make it for a display case, cool. you're gonna have to buy some Legos, and Lord knows Legos are expensive as all heck right now. Well, so yeah, I don't have step 11, but step 11, repeat, do it all over again. So yeah, that was my video about the stages I normally take to make a firearm. If this helped you guys, good for you. I really wish I had a video like this when I started making Lego guns. So like, I don't know where to do, what to do, how to do this. So yeah, guess that's it. So if you guys would please leave a like, comment, and hopefully subscribe if I did good. Or if you didn't like it and you're subscribed, you can unsubscribe. I don't really care. You can also dislike the video. Tell me what you didn't like about it. I'm always looking for feedback, guys. Tell me how to make my videos better. See ya. Have a good night.